Hey guys, Miguel Rodriguez here for All Things Film. I'm sorry we didn't have a live episode this week. I'm just not feeling the best right now. But when you're sick in bed, you can do stuff like watch movies that you haven't seen yet. So I'm going to be reviewing Netflix's new Black Mirror Crash Bandicoot or Black Mirror Babadook. No, Black Mirror Bandersnatch. That's what it is. Bandersnatch. That's right. The immersive pick your ending movie that's supposed to be revolutionary, although I feel it fell really short, but we'll get into that in just a second. So it's no surprise that Black Mirror is a great series already. They have some really great episodes out there. Really dystopian universes they explore with some really great acting. And Black Mirror is really not much different from that. It does have some amazing acting, especially from Fionn Whitehead and Will Poulter. They did an amazing job, and the reason I'm focusing on them mainly is because they are pretty much the entire cast. Everyone else did a decent job, but wasn't really featured all that much. It was a very small cast. It was very tightly controlled for being a really immersive experience, or it was supposed to be at least. But those two, our leading actors, really did, shine amongst everything else. But their performances can only carry this movie so far. The plot basically follows a 19-year-old computer programmer in the 80s trying to get a video game released that has a choose-your-own ending adventure theme to it, following a book that he found in his late mother's collection called Bandersnatch. Apparently the book was being written by a guy who ended up killing his wife, and going to prison for it. And there's a little controversy over that during the movie, but not really explored past that. And that's kind of the whole plot, because at some point you're supposed to choose parts of the movie to move the plot forward. Your first choice is picking his cereal. I get the idea they're trying to go for it, and it was really cool, but I don't think they did it to the level they thought they were doing it at. I spent at least an extra half an hour, 45 minutes, going back and flipping through all these different choices, and you get the same outcomes pretty much regardless. They've done this in video games, obviously books that he based it off of, choose your own adventure, board games and video games. It's been done before. And just because they make it look crisper and a little bit better of a plot, it doesn't make this movie the first time this has been tried before. I believe it was Final Destination 3 or Final Destination 4 they tried this, and it felt the same way. Your choices were there. They gave you the option, go left or right, choose to kill this person or not kill this person, or save this person, don't save that person. And it kind of just led you to the same conclusion, because a movie is still, no matter what, is a linear structure with a beginning, middle, and end. And you can move those around however you want, like Tarantino does. You can add alternative endings in your DVD or Blu-ray release. But for the most part, it's going to be the story you want to tell, or else it's not a movie. It is a video game, which is cool. Video games are great. I love them. But it's not the same narrative telling. So in my opinion, I think it failed in that aspect of, you get to choose your own adventure. But if you're paying attention to the movie, that's kind of the point. No matter what your choices are in life sometimes, even if you can go back and change everything, you can keep redoing and redoing and redoing. Sometimes you end up in the exact same spot. Will Poulter's character, which I believe his name was Will Poulter, Colin Rittman. Colin Rittman in the movie is a legend in the gaming world. He developed a whole bunch of them and is kind of Stephen Butler or Fionn Whitehead's mentor going through this experience. And he is the first one to kind of tell Stefan that the world is not how it seems. Time is kind of an illusion, and people are watching you at all times. Just very anti-government oversight propaganda kind of stuff, which was really interesting, especially for the plot, and it really fits into the Black Mirror universe because a lot of their themes throughout is being overruled by an existential force, either through the caste system or monitors, or in this case, literal what's the word I'm looking for? A literal overhead of every life experience. Because in the movie, we find out that Stefan's father, Peter Butler, actually is doing an experiment on him the entire time. And his mother, that he thinks is his mother, didn't actually die in the way that he assumed it was. And that kind of brought a lot of pressure onto his own life, leading him to go into therapy with a woman played by Alice Lowe, Dr. Haynes. I cannot remember her first name in the movie. I apologize. But throughout the entire time, we get these subtle glimpses that things aren't how they appear. But they weren't as good as some of the smaller or some of the shorter episodic stories they've told. So this 90-minute, which actually turned out for me to be probably 2 hours and 15-minute experience instead of an hour and a half, because you're going to go back and check things, see if it'd be different, lent itself to kind of fall short. I feel like they've been telling shorter stories better than they did the longer one, which is, it's a good attempt, and I hope they continue to do it. I really liked the 80s nostalgia feel to it, but that was pretty much those little aspects were the only really bright parts of it. It's getting great reviews, which is good. I'm glad they are, because they continue to improve upon their format. Hopefully, we see a movie with this choose your own end cast system work a little better later on. David Slade, the director of this, also known for, let me check this out real quick. He has done, oh gosh, I want to make sure I check this beforehand. He did, 30 Days of Night is one of them that I really liked. Hard Candy, which was a psychological thriller that came out with, what is her name, who played Kitty Pryde? Oh god, it's going to kill me. But it was a decently good movie as well. Also known for being the director of Twilight Eclipse. So that, I don't know about that one. Writer Charlie Brooker did a really good job of doing something I haven't really seen done before, and that's writing a choose your own adventure movie. Obviously, when they did it in Final Destination, there's very little that went into the whole writing aspect of that. It was either this guy jumps left or this guy jumps right. In this one, there's literal choices that had to be written in and new dialogue that had to be created in order to keep the plot moving forward, which must have been a more difficult situation, because when you're writing a script, you don't have to worry about multiple plot lines of the exact same plot, just change with small details. You have to obviously do rewrites and whatnot, but that comes later. And that comes when people give you other suggestions and whatnot. But in this case, you literally have to plot out the same plot structure 2 or 3 times in order to get to the same points and see where those are going to take the characters. So I think that's another good reason why they kept the cast kind of small. Let's see, there's 3, 1, 2. There might be there's 6 to 8 speaking parts throughout this entire movie. Maybe a couple more that I'm just kind of forgetting about. The ones that kind of came throughout the entire movie to keep the plot structure together was this TV review for video games. They kept jumping to the end where this young boy and woman were hosting a TV show that reviews video games. And depending on your choices, the video game either was not released, was terrible, mediocre, or amazing. And the amazing ending was probably the best one for the movie itself, because it led to a lot more interesting things happening. But no matter what, you kept jumping to this, so you know kind of what's going to happen no matter what. No matter what choices you make, you see, I'd say more 3 endings than 4. And they're all kind of doing the exact same thing. And I could not stand that kid. Oh God. He had probably the 3rd most speaking lines out of the entire movie. And oh gosh, he was just annoying. And not even his fault. He did a really good job of his role. That character itself, oh God, annoyed me. But having said that, we don't have a breakdown of budget. We do not have a box office release, obviously, because this was a Netflix original. But it came out on the 28th in the U.S. of December. So it's been out there for about almost 3 weeks. The rest of the world got it just around the same time. and it so far is sitting at a pretty favorable review. Let's see right now. We're at a 7.5 out of 10, and it favors, let's see, under 18 likes it a little bit more. Um, U.S. residents seem to like it a little bit more than non-U.S. residents. Let's see. The male-female ratio is pretty much the same, favoring a little more towards females. Uh, so, kind of putting that together, as long as it's because they're very, very even. It's extremely even right now, guys, with almost everything across the board. We're talking zero point 0.1, 0.2% at the most. All that kind of leads up to me thinking there's going to be more feature-length films coming from the Black Mirror universe, which I am very excited for. They do a great job with these movies. I would definitely recommend still watching this for yourself. It just wasn't really my cup of tea. Uh, no pun, being a British movie, but it was still kind of fun. It was nice to have something to do while I'm not feeling so great. It was nice to have an experience that you were a little more immersed into than just a regular movie, but it kind of fell short of my expectations of what I thought they were trying to do. And, let's see what happens next time. It's not the worst thing that could have happened. It definitely has some really bright points. The acting was still really great. The cinematography was amazing. So, yeah, a lot of fun stuff here. Just not so much in my wheelhouse, although I definitely still recommend it for all the reasons I gave before. The writing was solid. The acting was amazing. Cinematography was great. Um, the plot, I think, didn't need to be told the way they did, but it was nice to have that immersive experience. And I am very much looking forward to what the creators over at House of Tomorrow and Netflix do together again. And let's keep it going. I really hope that they release another one before the end of the year. I know we just started, but sometimes those projects takes a little longer to get together, especially when they're trying something kind of cutting edge like this. It's a little different than the norm. I know it's been tried before, like I mentioned, but they definitely shot for the fences a lot harder than the other ones. It wasn't like those lazy 3D effects where it's just, oh, the coffee spilt and you can see the coffee move. It actually added to the plot itself, not just a creative device. It was an actual plot device. So I like that a lot. But guys, I'm going to wrap it there. We will be live again next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. I'll be feeling a lot better. And I hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know if there's any other movies you would like to hear reviewed. And hopefully we'll get into some more of the behind-the-scenes kind of stuff, the numbers and whatnot. Netflix is kind of keeping that close to the chest, which is fine. I get that. Makes sense. But other than that, guys, I will talk to you later. Go, carpe some diem or something. Go have a good day. And we'll see you next time. Bye.